there's a distinction that I find really valuable when we look at organizational structure. It was introduced by an organizational theorist named Elliott Jacques many years ago. And it's the concept that in any organization, at any point in time, you can look at three types of structure. You can look at the formal structure, the actual written down on paper org chart and job descriptions. And unfortunately, though, those actual formal structures are rarely that useful to look at. How many times, when was the last time you went running to your job description to find out real good clarity on what can people count on you for, what do you need to be focused on? The reality is, what's actually needed diverges from that. And he introduced another concept called the extant structure, which is the one actually operating. Not the one written down that we say is operating, but the one actually operating. And typically what happens is the formal structure becomes irrelevant pretty quick because we adapt to what's actually needed, and what we're actually doing no longer matches our formal org charts and our formal job descriptions. And then he introduced a third concept, which he called the requisite structure, which is the natural one. He said for any organization at any point in time, there's some natural way to organize that best fits the nature of the work that we're trying to accomplish. And I think that's why our extant structure, our operating one, diverges from the one written down, because we sense something. We sense intuitively that there's a better way to do things, and we start aligning more with that. But we don't have a really good way to do that, so we get stuck somewhere in between. I think one of the cool things that Holacracy does is give us an engine to process every time we sense that the formal structure is off and is not serving, that the requisite is somewhere else. We feel that gap as a tension, and we can process that tension to actually evolve the formal structure into the requisite. So our job descriptions go from being mostly a joke to something that actually reflects reality, because we're continually evolving them to match what we're learning is the way we really need to organize, which allows the actual operating structure to also mirror that. So it aligns your formal, your extant, and your requisite structure continually through an evolutionary process of continually adjusting and adapting in light of the actual reality encountered in our work.